Hey guys, welcome and thank you for joining us as we take Jodi through the journey of learning how to get better at golf. You can watch along as we go through a screen and then how we kind of build a golf swing around the body that he's got at the moment, and then we get into some biomechanics with how to move the pressure and then add a little bit of path movement and wrist action. So there's going to be heaps of learning for you while you watch this, no doubt. Tons of value. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's just the start of this series for Jodi. If you think this kind of content is going to be good, let me know in the comments down below. As always, subscribe, but really I'm interested to see how this lesson format video stuff is going to go for you guys, if you're going to enjoy it. I'm sure there's some value in it when you get to see how a player is screened and then how that affects their movements or what they should do in their setup so they can swing within what their body can do. And then you can also start to see how the learning process occurs and all the little tips and tricks and stuff I've got and bits and pieces. I'm sure there's going to be some value in for it. It's a long one, I know, so probably save it in the old watch later category, and timestamps down the bottom so you can skip to any part of the video if you want to see the screen part, or you want to see the weight pressure part, or you want to see the wrists part to get the face to path better. But let me know. It's an exciting experiment and your feedback is going to be key on the progress right here. The plan, we're going to do a little screen first.
Okay.
See what you can and can't do.
Yep.
You obviously being a physio is going to be a lot of fun doing that.
Cool.
Because you'll probably be better at me than doing it.
No.
So I'll probably learn something from you. Because you were saying that you were pretty stiff in the old hips, right?
Stiff in hips, stiff in back, stiff in shoulders, just from old injuries.
But that's probably also because you're hyper aware of how stiff you are.
Yeah, probably I compare myself to patients.
Old injuries as in?
Labral tear. That's kind of it. Back, had a disc injury. Hips, just got FAI, so a bit of bone growth, but they're just tight in adduction. But rotation's not too bad.
Is there any way to get rid of that, what did you say, the bone?
The FAI.
Yeah. I got a little bit of that in my left hip. Is there
Yeah.
any way you can actually get rid of it, or is it just?
It's basically regular impact causes the body to go, well, I need more bone there to tolerate more load.
It's like your foot that you always kick with kind of a thing.
Exactly. So really the best thing you can do if you ever want that bone to go is to stop impacting it, and the brain will start to go, okay, don't need as much modelling there.
Oh.
But you can work on movement patterns, you can work on kind of strength around it, work on your mobility, open that hip up with lots of stretches, moves and stuff like that.
Will it actually get better though, or is it just kind of?
You'll maintain it as best as it can be whilst you're doing it. You can get them shaved off. If you're a pro, you'd go and get it shaved and it would sort of be awesome for the rest of your career.
Oh.
But then you'd probably get arthritis in it a little bit earlier than you'd expect.
Oh, because you've
they've
got
shaved
in
the
there.
bone, yeah.
Ah.
So it's a real catch-22. But the outcomes, not always, they do it a lot in footballers, soccer players.
Yeah, it makes sense, eh? Because if you're kicking all the time,
Yeah.
like that hip in there is the one that I've always like posted on, loaded on, or whatever. And then anytime I'm trying to do, for golf purposes, internal rotation that way, I just feel it, like pinching.
Yeah.
Or if I if I have a left-handed backswing, it just goes straight in there.
Yeah, okay.
I can hear that nice little click when
Yeah.
I extend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying too from golf purposes because getting open's a thing, right? And then my hip is just like, nah, I don't actually like getting open.
Yeah.
So then I have a little bit of early extension. I'm like, well, probably because my body's just like.
That's finding its path.
You'll find it's like a river, eh? You'll find the easiest way to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Whether it's
I wonder
right
if it's
or
your
wrong.
labrum more than the bone. The lining of the joint.
Could be.
There's like a little cartilage disc. Very common to have a tear. And from opening up, usually not so much FAI. So it might be that. And there's a little bit we can do about that. And if it's a real nightmare, you can have it snipped. But
I need to look into that.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
All right. As for you though, let's screen this thing.
Computer error. Too many errors.
No, man, you'll be right.
All right. So what, just hit a few balls or?
No.
No.
I want you to get into. No, keep your club out. Keep your weapon out. That's for a minute. Get in posture for me. Cool. All right. So, yep, just stay there. Don't move. Drop the club. Beautiful. Arms up against your chest. Excellent. So, first thing I always have a look at is just general posture. You can see it's pretty good from where I'm looking. You can actually use the mirror behind. You can see it's pretty nice. There's a little bit of rounding, a little bit of C, but it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
I'm more of a fan of actually a little bit of C than having S. I don't like that. That's back injury,
okay.
can't move, any of that stuff, it's cooked. So that's beautiful. Cool. First big test is your dance moves, right?
Yep.
So keeping your shoulders basically, we'll make the easy one first. Keep your hips dead still, and then just rotate your shoulders as far as you can. While getting a little bit of tilt down there, yeah, cool. And then as other way, as far as you can. Good, same back. Cool, good separation abilities. I don't want your hips moving at all.
Oh, sorry.
That's pretty good. All right, other way around. Keep your shoulders dead still and just move your hips. Ooh.
That's tough.
Okay. There's two parts to this. A, it's first time a lot of people do it, they can't do it. And second one is an element of question. Because when you're playing golf, this is a major one, right? Because your golf swing, you are turning, and then certainly in transition, you're trying to get your hips to start to move lateral and rotational while the shoulders are going to either stay closed, but there should be ability to separate while you're doing it. If you can't separate them here, you can't expect them to separate there.
Yeah, okay.
So, can you move them now if I help you? Okay, it's a little better.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, in a classic, I can finally tell a physio what a physio should be doing.
Yeah, that's good.
And then you can also see in the mirror there, keep doing it. You see that it's a lot more, you've almost got a little bit more of you just using like a pistol than an actual rotation. So I always tell people they should go in when they spend some time in the bathroom every morning, because it's the place you want to be doing these moves. So you can't do them out in public. So you hold the old basin, and then you'd be holding the basin, and then you'd just be using it. As soon as you have resistance, you can start to have rotation. Plus the bonus in the bathroom normally is there's a mirror.
Yeah.
And when you see yourself doing stuff like this, you go, cool. Next one, very important, especially with what your back, you said. So we know that's a little limitation, and the easy work around that is just have more toes more rotated out, which would be external, correct?
Yep.
Just got to always check myself here.
I like it.
And I've got to make sure I'm saying the right words these days. And then next one, right? Back in your golfing posture, and basically air thrusts. Pelvic tilt test, but air thrusts. So, staying in there, are you able to, firstly, arch your back? So basically just increase the arch of your lower back. And then from here, are you able to roll it underneath? That was pretty good without having too much shake and bake. Normally I do this a lot. If I do it quick, I'll have that little shaking.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not bad considering I haven't done any fucking work. Okay, again, you can have a look at the mirror down the line since we've got 17 mirrors in this place.
Yeah, I like it.
Same again?
Yep.
So there is, that's good. Cool. Not that great at posterior.
Posterior.
Is
I don't like it.
That's good. That you go through here, but you're not great at moving at there, right? Very much.
That's as soon as I go really.
Does that hurt?
Yeah, my back just feels like that's the position where I'm going to tweak it.
Tweak it or stretch it?
It feels nice. Feels like a nice
Stretch.
But it also feels like if I do lots of stuff there, that's when I'm going to hurt my back. And I think that's how I hurt it deadlifting back in the day.
Didn't have your belt on.
No, I've never used a belt. Don't deadlift anymore. Because I want my body to be able to do it by itself.
What would be your favourite exercise? My favourite one for that to get, because a lot of people have that issue. Other than you can use a basin again, but it's just the old fat cat, angry cat. So just like down falls that there, and then roll it, because that's the part that you feel both stretch and I feel stretch there too. But also feels like it's about to go pop. Correct.
Just feels if I hung out and do too much there, I'm gonna like ask for trouble basically. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I'd go even. You tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I'd have you more that way as in your body. Yeah. And then arch it. Yeah, you're good at that, right?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time there, I think, to avoid this.
Oh yeah. It's interesting because if you video yourself doing it, or if you watch yourself doing it, you do a lot through here.
Yeah.
You don't really do much through there.
I know. I think that's I've learnt to just guard.
Yeah. Golf purpose, swing-wise, that's going to have quite an effect when you can't rotate here.
Yeah.
And you can't, like, this is where a lot of the rotational movements happen through the lumbar. So the thoracic definitely does some stuff, but having the ability to have some pivot is going to be something, because if you don't rotate through here, it's very easy for the hands to do that.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm all hands and all trying to upper body it.
Yeah. But you got strong legs.
I just, yeah, come got mobility. Oh, that's good though.
So that's two big things that
we're going to work on.
Well, I mean, you're a physio, you know how to work on that stuff, but that'll be two biggies.
Put myself in with the juniors. Right?
Next, yeah, the kids are so good. Next one, right? 90-90. Very, very important for golf because a lot of players will have this perception of they should be able to move range of motion. They try and have this top of the backswing position. They see Adam Scott there and they go, man, I want to be like Adam Scott. And then you do the 90-90, which is basically how far can they move this, and they're stuck here.
Yeah.
So then you get them in golf posture, and they're here, so the top of the backswing should literally look like a fly right arm. Why? Because they can't, the only way they can do it then is by through standing up, and then they go, oh, my arm structure is good, but I've stood up at the top. Well, it's like, similar to that whole river thing. Your body will only move like it can move.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating when you figure that out. But
yeah, hell yeah.
Because you can't, there's some movements you just literally can't copy some people's golf swings if you don't have their body. But from a understanding your golf swing perspective, like if I know your hips are limited and you can't do this, well then if you get in these positions, there's no point in me asking you to do something you can't do.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, saves me going blue in the face and you getting.
Yeah. Same with us teaching a squat or something. If they just don't have ankle range,
exactly.
they're never going to be able to.
We'll get to that. No doubt you've got ankle range.
Not on this side. I know.
Wow, you turning and loading is going to be.
I've got. I mean, with these sorts of shoes on, like I've got that.
Yeah, I'd love to have a conversation about effects of shoes and those barefoot shoes and socks and long term. If you wear that, are you improving or are you just hurting your feet? Or?
Yeah.
Anyways,
we'll find out.
We'll find out.
50.
Okay, 90-90, let's go.
So both sides?
Yeah, you just start. Yeah, it looks like an instinct video, eh? Remember when they did that? You don't remember the instinct video? When they were like dolls? Oh. Cool, so just do one arm at a time. I know you're a talented human. Cool, so that's good. Ideal, a pass in this is greater than shoulder.
Yeah.
We ain't got that, have we? Cool, same on the other side. But you said you had a couple of ops or tears and stuff?
A couple of label tears, yeah, so.
What is a label tear?
Label tear, little cartilage disc that sits around the ball and socket. So the shoulder's quite shallow, so it's kind of like that. So you've got this little labrum that maybe a couple mil that goes around and just increases the depth of the socket, creates a vacuum so that this is nice and stable. But you can have like a rotational injury where you clunk the tear and then the tear gets stuck and then you get those clunks deep in your shoulder. And then
clunks, is that when it goes?
Yeah, sometimes it's just the joint kind of in space expelling nitrogen. Sometimes it's this getting past the labrum. So mine's, if you put your hand there, kind of around there. You feel that every time?
I've got that all over the place, mate.
Yeah, so that's just like a label tear. So for me, external rotation just gets a little pinchy back here.
How do you get rid of those hairs?
You can't, you just move around them. Or you get surgery. If you're under 30, you get surgery 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Under the knife, I always try to avoid that. But.
Yeah, 100%. There's like a big recon and stuff, but that's why I haven't got them, because I don't want to go under the knife.
Okay. Well, let's bloody test it in golf posture, eh? See how bad we are then. So you kick forward, back down into your normal posture, and then from there, just one arm at a time. Generally go left arm first, and let's see what this will feel super restricted from what I'm just...
So just hinge?
Yeah, how far from here can you go?
That's it.
So yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal for backswing, because obviously it's just follow through. That'll explain why you do a lot of like weird things, because you just simply can't rehinge other side. This will be very interesting. Okay. So this is a classic case, right? So you're limited here, and you say your ankle's limited there, right?
Yeah.
So like a good backswing from you, if you stayed in all your angles with a somewhat square posture, if you took your feet somewhat squarish, like only open it a little bit with all the little bits and pieces you got going on, like the top of your backswing would probably be here somewhere.
It's actually not far off that.
Yeah, well, that's all you got. Because as soon as you go further than that, this has to start going.
Yeah.
This has to start straightening at the knee, because that's how you rotated. And then your spine would probably start going into extension as opposed to rotation.
Yeah, I reckon.
We have to obviously work with what we got. But
well, you could probably say, mate, go away and do 12 months of mobility, come back.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, do you actually try and stretch that or no?
Well, believe it or not, this is actually best it's been for a while.
Okay.
Because I've been working on it. But
I mean, I just use the old door frame stretch as a...
Yeah, I've got a little cyst in the back, so every time I push here,
Yeah.
it just pushes that little cyst and it just gets sore.
Oh.
I know.
The favourite golf one, I actually learned this from one of the tour pros that I work with, Kieran. What do? We go here and then let's grab it there.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I can
Gotta
see how it works.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's it. So we go around so it hangs down the back of the arm.
Yeah.
And then you just pull that to tolerance, the
Yeah.
favourite word,
Yeah,
tolerance.
nice.
And then obviously you could get in posture. And then I've got pretty good range, so that doesn't really hurt at all. It's just a stretch.
Wow. Yeah.
But that's a good way. But yeah, I hear what you mean. You feel it in here, which is where you said you saw.
Yeah, I get
So, I
a
mean,
little pinch.
you can try that real quick and tell me.
Yeah, hell no. I'm up for a...
So have it hanging down, hold it in clubby, hangs down the outside of your arm, and then you grab that there, and then you just slowly stretch it. You can do it standing up too in your case, because your range of motion is so wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so you just there, and then just the tolerance, you just do that. So it also keeps your arm in front of you, which generally is safer from memory.
Yeah.
If you keep it in front. You feel that stretch? It's weird, eh? But that's kind of what we want with golf, is you want to get used to the arm staying in front while getting rotation. As soon as it gets behind and impinged, then we're in trouble.
Yeah.
It's a good one for you.
Yeah, okay.
And you can do it both arms too.
Yeah.
And you've got the equipment in your bag.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a training
there's no reason
aid
not
out of, let me steal that. There's a training aid out of China. Like there's a lot. That they have it and you hold it around here. But you can literally do the drill where you start with it here and just get used to. Because there'd be some good idea that you could get this and actually go from here and get used to what it feels like. Because that's kind of what you'd want the trail arm to do in the transition, is you actually want it to go from external, you want it going this way. But obviously if you can't, if you've tapped out here, it's really hard to increase that.
Yeah, anywhere. Because it sounds like you're almost leaving it behind a little bit, so it increases the angle.
The shoulders, the club's going backwards, which is the elbow kicking and the wrists doing that. You can do a lot, obviously, with your wrists, with your elbows doing it, but you go that way as in your shoulders, as your hips are shifting and rotating. The more you can do that, the cooler it is, but man, it is athletically demanding.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
The older you get, or the older player you're generally working with, the less you require or request right side bend, lead wrist flexion. The less you try and look like that, the more you just try and build an action that requires way less rotationally, which is, you can easily do it. It has more timing involved, but I'd rather be pain-free than look pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
Functional.
Let's see that ankle range of motion. So the only test I know that's worked good for that is this: go down here, put the club out in front, and then just try and stretch to it. You might have a better one. So club the other way around? Yeah.
So it's in these shoes.
Yeah, the shoes do help you cheat, don't they?
Yeah, should I take them off?
Yeah, well, you did right. If you could do it properly and you want to try and keep the ankle on the ground. See, it's not terrible, man.
No, it's not bad.
Generally, you want to have it, about an inch off the foot and then try and... It's not bad. Cool. Other side. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Does that feel way better?
Yeah, it's way nicer. I love it.
Okay. Last little upper body one. Your neck and stuff, that's all good?
Yep. So, believe it or not.
I'll believe you. Thousands wouldn't. Little lat test. So a wall squat.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the back flat against the wall, head against the wall. Funnily enough, there's so many people that can't even do that.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure you get them.
Yeah, to be fair.
You probably just don't test it.
Yeah.
I get a lot of oldies, and when they get real bad seat posture, they literally can't have their back and their head against the wall at the same time.
Wow.
And then when they lie down on the ground, they can't even, that's the worst one, is when they lie down, they can't actually get their head back on their shoulder back.
Okay.
They just stuck here.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, don't end up like that, Gurns.
Yeah.
And then I walk around like this all day.
No, that's what that's my dread. To be super rounded.
Well, you need to watch out, man. You need to watch out. Anyways.
Hell yeah.
So you get thumbs out, and you're trying to keep, you need to keep the thumb in front of the shoulder and just see how far you can go. If you can get to the wall without I'm a little tight on my right side compared to my left, but if you can get all the way there, that's great. If you just stop here, stop here.
Yeah, I'll
The easy cheat is just arms go sideways. Like, I got lots, but if you keep your arms in front of you, so if the arms stay in front, that's a good test. And
Yep.
again, this is to do with how high you can raise your arms.
So
Which hopefully they can do something.
yeah, they could do something. Hell yeah.
So yeah, is your back flat?
Lower back.
Nope. Squeeze. Beautiful. Keep it there. Ah.
Oh,
Yeah, keep it there.
this is already hard work.
It is hard. There we go. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a tough test. It's one of those few bonuses where being a complete skinny fella is somewhat beneficial. One more. Got a pretty good picture though of what we're working with now.
Yep, stiff as a board.
Yeah, I'd definitely say limited range of motion.
Yeah.
Strong as an ox, but
Oh.
limited range. Unfortunately, this game does reward mobility more than...
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so grab a seat. We're going to get a high-end tool. We're going to put the tennis ball between your knees so you can't cheat.
Yep.
And I want to see... Normally, the idea would be you'd put the behind, and then you actually test just rotation, because as soon as you have it in front, you can just move your shoulders to move it. But I don't think you can even do that. I don't think you can. See how wide you can go. It's going to be tough for you. Because anyone that fails 90-90, doing that's pretty hard.
Yeah.
If that pole wasn't as bendy.
Oh, yeah, true. Snap.
Cool. So move to the front of the chair. Sorry, made it quite tough there for you.
Ooh.
Cool. And yep, back in there. Beautiful. Now rotate as much as you can, keeping tennis ball still. So rotate to your right and to your left. Yeah, cool. Other way. Man. You're lucky I've got some cheats to help us move, right? Is that all we got? Oof. Tough times. All right, cool. That's enough of that.
Yeah.
Oh, one more actually, since we're doing that. Cool, hop back up. As limited as that is, and it's limited, it is better than the hips, right? Better than the hips, right? So one more, just hold this up against your hips.
Yep.
Right foot back, left foot forward, and just rotate as far as you can to your right, to your left, and then the other way with both feet.
Yeah, nice. Just the hips, don't let them thoracic move.
Yeah, let everything go.
Oh, everything.
Just see how much you can move.
Holding this either side.
Yeah, so 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Keep that, hold it up over your belt loop so you're holding the stick on your hips.
Oh.
Yeah, not just cheating.
Like that?
Yeah.
Hinging, did you say, or just standing up straight?
Hinging would be good. Little hinge, yeah. Little hinge is great. Too much hinge is... Okay. Ugh. Cool, other side. Yeah, other foot.
Oh, other foot, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Arms,
Get out!
arms are good, right? They can straighten
without
pain like I can at the moment. They help. This works. This works. This flappy wappy works. Cool. You can at least straighten those. No issues with that. No pain with that. Okay. All right.
Hockey.
Hockey. All right. Let's grab. Now we're doing this. Let's grab a stick and see some data.
Yeah. Well.
Now that I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
Whack it.
Just whack it. Like, what am I going for? Just.
Yeah, well, just like you were before, like you were warming up.
Just warming up.
Yeah, just whack a few. Oh, man, that's been a good test. All right. So your normal ball flight is that. Starts left, falls back to the right.
Yep.
Cool. Distance is not super far.
No, I'd say it's like 20 yards behind where most people would hit
And
theirs.
this is a high fade or a high slice?
Really high, yeah.
Beautiful. And then the occasional pull to the left, or not very many of them? It's
More pull to the left. Maybe, yeah. Sometimes I'll hit it like dead straight and it will just come off and sort of just...
Yeah, it's just that path has gone super left, so we'll have to learn all those shenanigans. What are you currently thinking about in your golf swing?
Full disclosure, because I've sort of been working on it over the last few months.
Yeah, you told me you've been down the range hitting balls.
Yeah, I have. And so things I've been working on are trying to keep my arms in relatively tucked into me. As I come back here, trying to keep this elbow in. Trying to get my wrist into full extension, keep my head still. As I come back through, what I think I was doing was trying to go arms in real fast from the top. I probably still do. So what I'm trying to do is get to there and then try and create a little bit of compression, but I just can't seem to grasp how to get ahead of the ball. So I've never been able to take a wedge or anything. So I'm here trying to, and then I'm trying to learn to shift my weight. But I just go and do one thing at a time. Just, yeah. I can't process lots.
Well, yeah, we can help you with some of that stuff, definitely. All right, so this is where you're currently at.
Yep.
And there's some red flags straight up, right? Because
Cool,
we now
okay.
know what your body can and can't do.
Yep.
So the more forward bend you have, and obviously I'm talking about forward bend there, I'm just talking about being tilted over that way, the harder it is to rotate,
Yeah.
right? So if you're playing a sport, you're playing rugby, and you're bent over this way, a guy's running at you, you get more this way so you can't rotate.
Yeah.
The more upright you stand, the easier it is to be mobile, correct?
Yeah, cool.
We both know you're not great at rotating.
Yeah, so I'm making it even tougher.
Next thing, your feet. Your toes are just beautifully square, as if you are some 15-year-old hyper athlete. Again, the straighter the feet, the harder it is to rotate.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got two things that are seriously impinging your ability to move.
Yep.
And certainly a lot of the old school greats all had their right foot really rotated open, and then they're going to go more that way. Like you watch like a Ryan Fox or something, his left foot's really open. Why? He's got some left hip issues. So it just helps him clear. I myself, my foot's always been a little bit that way, but it's just so much easier to turn. Whereas you're sitting up for as if someone that's hyper flexible, and we both know you're not.
Literally, hypo.
Literally not, yeah. It's going to look the same on all of them. Has this one got all the... no, we'll just keep using this one, it's fine. And then as you go back, club goes nicely outside and up. Like you were working on that wrist hinge stuff, correct?
Yeah, trying to take back.
Zero back. So you just take the club back with your hands, am I right?
Instead of my arms, or what do you mean? I don't know.
Okay, so your body doesn't lead the movement, your hands, your club head goes first, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we were throwing...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you'd never throw and take your hand back to throw unless you throw like a wimp, right?
Yeah.
Which is not the idea. So biomechanically, there's lots to work on there, which is great. But yeah, the club's outside, so it's a positive thing, considering how much the path is averaging. This was a better one I got, but your path is averaging 13 degrees left, and that's a lot.
Left, what's the degrees? Left of?
Left of centre line, so you're swinging the club a long way left, which explains why the ball, whichever way you swing, the ball curves away from, right? So if you swing left, the ball curves right. You swing right, the ball curves left.
Yeah.
You're swinging a long way left with a very shallow angle of attack, so that combination means you scoopy high slice.
Oh, I see. So it means that I'm swinging, and as I'm coming, that arc is that
It's
way.
going way left.
13 degrees that way.
And then, like you said, you pointed out, you can't get compression or whatever and stuff, which is why it's a high slice. So yeah, I completely agree. And then you're getting your wrists into a lot of extension there. As you pointed out though, you're trying to get your wrists hinged, correct?
Yeah, trying.
Okay. Certainly be changing that. And then from there, we both know you're not very...
Yeah, it's just 0 hip.
But then we both, also from what I've just seen, you don't set up in a position where they can rotate, and then you're not actually trying to encourage them to rotate. You're just literally going back like this, and then you can't get on the inside from there. You're just going to do what you do without having your wrists work though, but you don't use them here. You just come straight down that same plane. Body has not done much, and then scoopy on the trail foot, back foot kind of thing, and then like a man tied in knots. And then you've got that elbow, which you're going to see the elbow do that when we both know what the range of motion is, right?
Yeah, okay.
But the previous one, no doubt, is going to look exactly the same setup. Yeah, beautiful, same stuff. Same issue there, same issue there, same issue there. Yeah, I mean, they're all going to... The beauty of golf swings is they all have the same pattern involved. Okay, so we can take the long journey to this. We're not going to try and do the... If I just wanted to fix your slice, I can do that in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I'd work with what you got, firstly, and it would just be a simple case of, okay, your wrists are in extension, we'll get them in flexion, we'll fire on the hack motion and just work on getting the wrists to be more basically bowed, and then you'd hit it and it'd go straight left, and you'd be cool, I'm not slicing it anymore.
Yeah.
And then, you'd be happy for a start because go lower and it would go more left. Clubface is king, so you could fix that in no time, and then you could figure out from there how to start to do some maybe right side bend at the same time to get the path more to the right. That would be a very quick fix, but long term it'd still be very limiting. You wouldn't increase your speed because you're not increasing your rotation, and you're certainly not building a movement that's around what your body can do.
Yeah.
But that would be a quick, easy, hey, just do this, because we both know your wrist does actually...
Of all the joints I've got.
All the joints you got, it's great your hands work, because if the wrists don't work, then you have another whole series of challenges. But we are also going to change how your wrists work, because you're trying to get them in extension, you're trying to set your wrists early, which might be good for fly fishing, but it's not great for golf.
Oh, okay. Not ready to start fly fishing yet.
Nah,
sure.
not yet. So our first big thing is we're going to work on setup, and then I'm going to show you how to effectively get your body driving the arms.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Which is going to be, at first, it will be a bit of a challenge mentally.
Yep.
But in the long run...
So the body should go first, and then this should almost come behind it. Sort of like.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a race, but the body, if you want, on the way back, the body should be leading the arms, which lead the club head, and then the body leads the arm, which leads the club head. That's my preference. It's just the better you move, the more your golf swing looks like. If your arms, my preference would be the old octopus arms, the more the arms are hanging and just coming for the ride. That's a good action, highly efficient action, has a lot of speed, has a lot of power, and also then you can obviously let the arms whip and work quite quickly. Whereas when you've got this and you're just relying on your arms, you're not using everything you got. I mean, you're strong enough upper body to do that and be okay, but you're not going to generate maximum load. So our first job we're really going to do is just do a little setup, and then I'll show you the little dance move.
Yeah, wicked.
But we're going to get this way more up.
Yeah.
So you're going to be a taller guy, and we're going to get these toes rotated out, especially your trail foot. Could be a good 30, 40 degrees rotated open. And if we really need to cheat, and there's nothing wrong with cheating, we'll get the trail foot to drop back a little bit. As we get, because those variables, you go from here to here, you've already picked up an extra 15 to 20 degrees of rotation. Well, you've just done this, and that's just a capitalist to doing that, right?
Yep.
So it's going to allow us to do this. And then the more you have that trail foot drop back, it's almost pre-turning that. And then also in setup, we can get right arm lower, left arm higher, a little bit of Bryce-esque. This, so we're almost having your T-spine pre-turned, right shot, you're almost in a position where your body's as turned as at the top at address. Okay. And all those things are just going to help us make a backswing turn get our pressure in the right spot, and then from there you can actually swing A from the inside. So if our path gets more neutral, then we can worry about face last, not first, and man, you'll be amazing.
Love it. Okay.
All right, so that's our first job. So what does it feel? So we have to build a little routine, because obviously building a little process and getting that, let me steal that for a second. You hop over there, Chief. So building a little routine for that, what does it feel like to be taller? So if we just start feet together, and you just try and stand as tall and relaxed in your normal, comfortable posture, because that doesn't look, it looks like you're trying to be athletic.
Yeah, going rugby tackle or something.
And we're trying to be mobile. We're not trying to be, I used to think that that was a good setup, like looking like, you know, Adam Scott, flat back and all the rest of it. But that guy's really hypermobile, and it's also, like I said, it actually switches everything off.
Yeah.
So if you can get just chilled, so feet together and super chilled, you're going to feel quite just relaxed.
Yeah.
And then from there, when you take your stance, left foot rotates open a little bit, and then I want you to be quite confident to have your right foot, in your case, the same.
Yeah.
Or maybe even you can go a little more.
Okay.
That's our first job, right?
Yep.
Because laterally, you're pretty good. It's rotationally where you struggle, so
Yeah,
we can
big
work
time.
within that boundaries. And then the last little thing we'll do today, in a setup adjustment, because you're a slicer, I'm quite happy to change this, is we will work towards getting the club face stronger and the right arm a bit lower. So we'll get you into what I would call a drawers position.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So if you ever see a guy stand on the first tee and he's like this, his shoulders are pointed way the hell there, and his club face looks to him like it's a little closed, he's a guy that's not going to slice it. And every time you see a slicer on the golf course,
Yeah.
they're sorry about hitting it that way, they get their shoulders more down and left. And the more down and left the shoulders get, the more they swing down and left. The more they slice, the more they go left. And it's a vicious cycle.
Okay.
However, you see the other guys that hook it, the more they go this way, they're not trying to hook it. So the more they go this way, the more they hook it. And it's just, so you have to know what your problem is before you have that. But if we can at least get your relaxed, trail foot open, shoulders closed, you're going to be so much more mobile. We're doing all the cheat codes we can there.
Yeah.
Once we've got that sorted, and we see what happens with that, all the numbers will improve. It won't improve angle of attack, however, but the path will improve, which is number one, and then we can talk about face, so we can see how bad or good things go from there. And then once we've got that locked in, then, and maybe then, we'll have a little conversation about the pressure shift and how to train that, because there's a 2 or 3 step process that we'll go through with that. But learning when to actually move your pressure and how to move your pressure and how it affects, because pressure leads path. Here's a nice quote. Pressure leads path.
Love it.
I didn't come with that. Old Terry from Canada did. Canadians, I love it. How we get the pressure which leads the body, which leads the path. So, but let's have a play with the setup, see what that does, see how magically it improves your range of motion by using all the cheats,
Keen.
and then we'll go from there.
So if I'm more upright, I feel like how do I get the club to the floor?
Cool, that's still recording. How do you get there? So feet together.
Oh, yep.
Cool, get your grip. Now, how long are those clubs is the next question.
I think tiny. Are they? I don't know. I feel like if I stand up where you want me, I'm going to be like that far off the floor.
Yeah, I mean, some longer sticks are good.
Okay.
Great way to measure your wrist to ground while we're here doing that. Have a useful. It's old ping setup. It's about 34.5 inches, I think, standard. So if we just stand up nice and tall and relaxed, which will be a change, and then have your wrists hinge up, and you'll see where you're at. Now, my arms are actually, I'm a little bit of an ape. Like most guys, my arms are longer than my wingspan's wider than how tall I am.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So I'm pretty much even though I'm around 6 foot, I can use standard clubs quite happily, or maybe half an inch longer at the most.
Yep. I know I've got quite long legs and a short torso.
So get nice and tall, relaxed, whatever the hell that means. Arms hanging, and then, and as you do that, yeah, cool. So let's see where you're at there. Sort of 36, almost 37. So yeah, longer toys would be good. But these are...
Do you reckon it's the shoes? They got like an inch there.
Yeah, they are quite long. Yeah, that is a good point. But yeah, unless we could go get some barefoot shoes, or Lynx make some very flat-soled shoes. we can pop out and see what the difference is. Do it.
Try it.
I've never actually thought about the shoes. I never blamed the shoes for wrist to ground.
It's got a little Achilles thing I'm managing, so that helps a lot.
Okay, let's do the same thing. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, well there you go. That has improved them substantially. So, but yeah, I've never really thought about that. You could go buy. What are your golf shoes like?
Don't have any.
Just playing the runners.
Yeah, I've got Asics for outside, but they're less than that. They're probably half that.
8. These are 1/2 inch longer. So these are my sticks. You can see there's a good inch there.
Yep.
So yeah, longer sticks wouldn't be bad.
Cool.
Wouldn't be a bad thing. However, you don't have to buy new sticks, especially with how much you love those toys.
Yeah.
Even though the blades are probably definitely not the best thing for you.
For right now or just ever?
For probably ever.
Oh yeah.
Not just because they're hard to hit, just traditional lofts and stuff. For a player like you who hits a high, weak slice, something that has a little offset, stronger lofts, higher center of mass, this is all going to improve your bad shots and your good shots. Everything's going to get better. With those, you can obviously lengthen them, like butt extend them.
This is one of these.
Yeah, make it longer, which will help. And then we can even get them on the line loft machine and bend them stronger. We can cheat.
Wow.
There's plenty of cheats, but yeah, as we bend them forward, we also take bounce off them, which makes them more digging machines, and they really are digging machines. We can worry about equipment once the movements are good. I'd always rather get the moves good and then worry about equipment second, because you'll hit it so much better when you're moving better.
Yeah, cool.
And then the fine tuning of equipment, but you definitely are going to be able to cheat a lot of performance out of equipment. Anyways, so let's try and do that setup as best as we can. To the ball. Don't worry about you. Just try and be as relaxed and as tall as you can be without. Yep, good. Now take your stance, having both your feet rotate open.
Like that?
Yeah, cool. Nice. All right, one more cheat code. Keep holding it. Okay, we go up here. Now I want you to close the face. Yeah, good, with the part that works. Yeah, cool.
I can do that.
You can do that, cool. And then from here, we're going to get the face back to square by bending your right arm and tilting your shoulder. And your head suddenly goes back too. And you feel how your shoulders feel way closed and your hips feel way forward, right?
Yeah.
Compared to where you were.
Yep.
All right. So start again from the scratch. Tall and relaxed.
Yeah.
Getting your spine in that position and your shoulders in that position, we're creating a whole bunch of problems, but they're going to help you a lot for what you're trying to do. So feet together. Yeah, lift the club up. Oh, look at you and your look at that. I love it.
Like it?
Yeah, I love it. Keep holding it.
Oh.
Shut the face and then twist the body to square the face up.
Oh, we're still here.
Yeah. Yeah, good. And then we come on down. So you can see there in the mirror, you've almost got a little bit of a banana going.
Nice.
This
it looks
goes
like where you should be.
Well, maybe. Rotate open that right shoe even more.
Even more.
So if you feel like you're getting too wide a stance, you can just effectively move your heels together. More with the left foot. You're good. Now obviously the left foot caveat is the more we rotate open the left foot, it makes it easy to turn through, but it makes it harder to turn back. So there's catch-22s with everything. All right, so let's hit a few shots from that bizarre setup and see what it looks like.
And just do what I do.
Yeah, just do what you do. Let's just first see what that first
So just a quick one. I'm obviously trying to recreate this exact position when I strike the ball.
Good question. No, impact and setup are not the same things, but that's another whole. It's another whole conversation for another moment.
Okay, so just start here, finish, hit the ball how I was hitting.
I just want to see what it does.
Okay.
Just for a laugh. Cool. Let's hit 2 or 3 from
A few
there.
more.
Yeah. I'm quietly confident for a bloke like you that's going to help a lot. Just straight off the bat. Cool. Right foot. Relaxed, yeah, shut the face, twist, yeah, beautiful. Good work, man. Okay, let's have a look at those couple. The numbers didn't get any worse, which is good.
Yeah, cool.
Let's have a look at this one. I'll crank it up on the screen.
It felt nicer.
How so?
It felt like I wasn't fighting my body as much.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
It felt like it flowed. It was, as in,
Okay.
yeah, I'm
so
working hard.
Set up here already is
More upright?
Yeah.
I reckon there's 1 degree more.
That's good, man. It's way better. Yeah, that was interesting how we got you randomized. We'll go against the one that we did. Cool. So there's a big difference there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then face on is equally a big difference.
Yeah, cool.
However, doesn't do anything, coach. Yeah, I would say that's much better.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the first one didn't capture all the things. The camera wasn't in the perfect spot, but a lot more range of motion. We can almost start to see some stuff going on there. Backswing length and wrist structure change too, which is no surprise because we put your wrists in a different place at address.
Yeah.
They were, as the handle gets more forward at address, they're almost in a bit of, if we go back to setup here, you can see here how the wrist conditions have changed quite differently. So it's good. And that will be the same, before you ask the question, it's the same. Oh, and the takeaway is more inside too, magically. We didn't even have to do anything. Why is the takeaway more on plane?
Yeah.
Purely because from here, it wants to go out because somewhat restricted. And then if we rotate that open, and we kick this way, it's so easy for your body now to actually go round. Things start to move. We haven't even worked on getting them to go around. So yeah, now the club's actually on plane. Body starts to move. Does it still come over? Absolutely. But is it better? Absolutely, yes. You're still going to do all the other funky stuff where you're staring at the ground and all the rest of it. But work in progress. But it's good.
Does look like an old man swing, doesn't it?
Compared to what you're physically capable of, it's, yeah. And interestingly, the speed wasn't any down or any up. It was good. You didn't lose anything by making that little adjustment. Just much better golf swing. Good. So let's do that another 5-6 more times. And then we're going to dive into some juicy stuff.
Okay.
But you want to do this for every club, every full shot. Yes, chipping, pitching, bunker play, putting, there's some variations. But that same general movement, the only real big difference is the trail foot moving. Mm-hmm. And then I'll also send you a link to the ball position guide thing I made a video just the other day. And you can see there how it's just pretty much the trail foot that moves the most, the right foot that moves the most, not the lead foot. Lead foot moves a little bit, and head position changes as this trail foot slides, so does the upper body get more and more and more that way. So with driver, you'll find yourself being looking like Bryson. Your lead arm will feel quite high, right arm feel quite low, quite shut. Hopefully that's the plan. Mm-hmm. All right, let's whack a few. Just keep doing this for another 2-3 minutes, just getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, running the system, getting a good process, enjoying hitting it slightly straighter.
Yeah?
Yep, shut it, and yeah. Now, down and back. Yeah, good.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, the more we do that,
Tuck
the
the elbow
merrier.
right in.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
All it's going to do is help path. Toes out a bit more. You beauty. Good. Good work. Very nice. Excellent. It's not going to help your low point. It's going to make you actually hit it fatter, but it's going to improve your path a lot. So it's going to go straighter.
It is.
It will. It will.
Cool.
Keep doing it.
Okay.
The shift. So these variables here, club path and face to path, that's pretty much your wrists. This is pretty much where you're swinging to. And a lot of that is where your shoulders are going. So if you think face to path is basically wrist conditions, club path is pretty much where your shaft and where your shoulders are going. And as we get you more this way, obviously we're orbiting that way. Angle of attack is basically where your pressure is. If your pressure's back, you're going to be up on it. If your pressure's forward, it's going to be down on it. But there's different areas to... And then to create that angle of attack, a lot of it is actually getting your body to move forward way sooner than what you think, but we'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
Just keep doing this craziness. Cool, so lift it up again. Yep, so wrists, beautiful. Yeah, good. down, down. Beautiful. Hey, look at you living. And then you look in the mirror there, as crazy as you can clearly see the top of your right arm.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Okay.
If you're trying to stop a slice.
Yeah.
Which is what we're doing.
Okay.
Good, and then in the mirror there, heels a bit closer together, toes out. Yeah, good. Why?
Major motion.
Yeah, because you're not the flexible guy. You know.
Toe go.
Cool, go for it. Nice, well done. Very livable outcome. Beautiful. So, still a high cup, but
Feels good?
more manageable. And certainly your body, as we saw, is moving way easier.
Yeah, definitely
on the way
feels
back.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
And
amazing.
you can cheat more and more with that trail foot, but at this point, let's just get comfortable with that. Tall and relaxed, toes out, shoulders. Yeah, good. Yeah, man, halfway there. Cool. And then, like I said, the low-hanging fruit from there, if we just wanted to cheat and you wanted to get rid of that slice altogether, just be more lead wrist. But then you are going to hit it left because the path is still going left. And it's not going to fix angle of attack because that's body movement.
Okay.
All right, so ready for the dance move?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so steal that. Aha, here's my little board, a little homemade board. There's a fancy version of this that Y Golf has made that's very good, but I quite like this for learning. Now, my preference, love the word preference.
Yeah.
My preference is hop over there, the body drives the trunk, which drives the hands, which drives the club head. Now, on the way back, I love when the body has shifted to lead the club head action. The same as if we went in the gym and I gave you a heavy kettlebell and I said, lift this kettlebell. You wouldn't do that. You would use the ground effectively. It's an down to an up and then a turn and then a down and then an up and a turn. I know. Now it's very, very complicated. The ideal move is forward, back, and then forward again. And then you could probably go back once the ball's in flight, like a little Hogan-esque, which I absolutely love. However, I've only ever seen one person do this straight away out of thousands.
Yeah.
So I find it very, very hard. The reason being, this is easy enough. But you have to, the recovery of what does it feel like to actually push off your trail leg back to the center is so important. And when you add more energy back, you need to have more energy being able to basically counter force, which pulls you back to the middle, which is great because that gives you a whole lot of power in any sport you play, that as you're taking the object back, you're stepping the other way.
Yeah.
But I have not successfully, like I said, only one person has done that. And he was a very good cricket player that did it straight away.
Yeah, that's natural transfer, isn't it?
Yeah, he was quite a talented athlete, that one. So, very hard to copy that. So, generally what I do, is this is going to be our end goal, is you set up and you literally have a motion where you're going to go left, right, back to the left, through. However, like I said, it's too hard to do that in one go. And we need to learn, what does it feel like, especially get the angle of attack good, what does it feel like to move the pressure left as the body is turning right? Yes. Yeah, similar to that. What does it feel like to actually make a decent backswing where effectively the lead shoulder is you turning right. There's obviously an element of left side being too, but you're getting this in line with your right hip, for the lack of a better term, as your pressure, your right hip is moving the other way. So what does it actually feel like to make a coil? That's going to create space for the arms to come from the inside, which will dramatically help with the path, and will almost automatically get the angle of attack correct. Because there's no way from here that you're going to get low point right. You're always from here going to hit the ground first. The backswing, the shift of pressure in the backswing, pretty much as soon as the hands get past the pocket, left arm parallel, somewhere in here, you start to move towards the target. but it's as you're moving laterally, you're rotating, getting the back to the target as you're moving towards the target. That's a coil, whether you're playing cricket's obviously different because you're not ever turning that much for cricket. You're trying to stay somewhat open to the target, unless you're trying to take a ball from outside mid wicket over a square leg. But it's not a good cricket shot on sport.
Yeah.
But you're playing tennis, as the racket's going back, racket's going this way, your body's turning that way. Hockey is a really good example of it, but a lot of them don't maximize rotation as much as we can in golf because the ball's moving in those sports. And the ball's coming from there, so your eyes, your head's looking that way, so you're limited to how much you can turn. Here the golf ball's on the ground, so you can keep your eye on it and make quite a big turn. Anyways, so our first job, after that long-winded explanation.
No, I love detail.
Our first job is to get this happening with this. That's what we're after. Not your upper body going forward, your hips turning forward. Now, is it exaggerated? Obviously. And the wobble board's really, really good for that. Once you can do this, then our next level of movement is using this guy, the old Y Golf one. And it actually has a flat point in there. And the only thing is you're trying to find what is your balance supposed to feel like. So we go start trail side again, and then we get used to what does it turn to be 50-50. Because our goal is going to be at the top, balanced 50-50. So you're lovely balanced, turned. And like I said, hips gone forward, shoulders gone back, which is the balance. Whereas you at this point just go, you've got better through that, all the cheats.
Yeah.
But now that we're here, we can actually start to feel that coil. And then from there, it's so easy to just absolutely rip it.
Yeah.
And there's no reason that even if you're limited with rotation, if we encourage a little bit of it, we're going to have a massive return on investment with that.
Yeah.
And that, like I said, will have a massive effect on the two quality striking variables of angle of attack and path. It won't have any effect on club face. That's to do with this, which is easy enough to adjust. And we've got all the tools for that. We'll use hack motion for that when we get to it. Anyways, let's hop on this.
All right.
So, your new setup position number 1. Do you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?
The way it's going to make me the best.
Against your chest, against your shoulders. It's even a harder test to see if you know where your shoulders are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Most people say put the club up against the shoulders and I get some weird. Anyway, so tilt forward again. Why is this good? Because now you have a reference point to see where your shoulders have gone.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Longer sticks, even better. We've got a few long sticks in this facility, haven't we? Cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with our pressure, but we don't want it to be at the top. We don't want to be stuck on the back foot in the golf swing. So we start where we want to go. It's almost like a sprinter. We're going to start where we can push off. Because you don't push off that trail leg at all. So we go back there again, we start there. And as you notice, as you go with the pressure there, you find yourself bending your right knee. Good.
That's okay?
That's okay. Cool.
Right.
So we start there, and you'll find here your shoulders are now square. Now,
Yes, I should be like
no, it's good. So as we start to do this, as this starts to come this way, it tilts, and you try and turn it, you go good. So you're trying to get this to feel, I know it's hard for a lovely flexible man like yourself, trying to feel that if you had the ball there, you're trying to get this to point behind the golf ball, if possible. Ooh, beautiful. There's some range of motion.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'll feel that that right leg has to straighten, A-OK, not a big deal. And the pelvis has moved forward. So you can see here in the mirror there, the pelvis has moved forward, but the shoulder is behind the pelvis. The bad action, the reverse spine, is when you've got the other action. That's terrible. You look in there, on my back, spin my feet, chiropractor's dream.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get that. That's the coil we're looking for.
Wow, okay.
So from there, you've really got your hips to slide a lot. From there to impact, you only have to move your joints that much.
Okay.
Whereas when you are back here, good luck coming back to the golf ball, mate. In 200th of a second, yeah, you're going to come over the top. So the main reason why players come over the top, from my perspective, is they are so far here, they're going to go this way. The only way you can find the ball is through that. Whereas if you've already turned back to the ball, your pelvis is already lined up with it, it's a minute movement to get down to delivery. You're already there. And in all sports where you have athletes that are good at the sport, batsmen, anything, they're always in position early. Boxers, they get into position where they're going to be early to then deliver it. If they're late to delivery, so they're too slow with their footwork, They look terrible. So, anyhow, let's get used to what does it feel like to push off your trail, your right foot, towards your left while turning and tilting. So you've got tilt, you've got left side bend, you actually feel like you've gone lower, which is good.
Okay.
Why? Because if you're doing any movement, any sport, when you're powering up, you're always going to go down to then you're going to go up. Okay. And as you go up, you're not going to back up, but we'll get to that. You're not going to do that.
Oh no.
I know, right. We'll get to it. Cool. Let's just do the backswing and then we'll talk downswing. Exquisite. Cool. Now, even with your limited range of motion, you can do all this, right? Doesn't hurt too much.
Good. Feel ready to just uncoil.
Okay, cool.
Joking.
No, I love it. I love it. Let's do it again. So get to the top, and then we're going to talk about where you're going to be. I'm going to lay out all the positions. I don't expect you to have mastery of them, but if you can practice them like this and get used to it, then it's really easy when we add the arms. Anyways, yeah, cool. So stop there. Good. So we go from here. Now the downswing, we don't want the shaft to go, if you look in the mirror, we don't want the shaft, that mirror. I know, too many mirrors. We don't want the shaft to go that way.
Yeah, okay.
We want the shaft, you can see it's on this plane.
Yeah.
We want to have the pelvis moves even further forward, and then we have the shaft come just there. So you can see it stays on that same plane.
Yeah.
Whatever that feels like, right?
Okay.
Because your tendency is, hey, wood chop.
Yeah.
Cool, so we just go a little bit that way. So we drift, it allows the arms to drop underneath. And then here, we stop at this point, and you can see that you're going to have your shoulder, hip, and ankle all line up. Stack the joints. Now you're in a good spot. Shoulders are still pointed to the right as the hips have pretty much come back to zero. Very, very nice. And then from here, you're like your boxer, you're in a position where you can absolutely throw an uppercut. Yes, then the body comes through. That's impact. Very, very different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you stand on up as you finish. And now you look like a golfer.
Wow.
Chest stands nice and tall, you're balanced. Watch the ball fly, everyone's starting to clap. I don't really know what happened to the old Jodi, but they're like, man, where the old you go, bro?
Hustling.
Hustling today. The old golf shark, super shark right here. Same again. So start trail.
Here.
Yeah, and then turn into the lead. Cool, stop there, get used to that. And then from here, we don't go that way. We go which way?
That
underneath. Way. Just a tiny bit. And then you stand up and turn. Yeah, and then rotate. Good. Now, are we creating a whole bunch of issues by going underneath? Yeah, we are. But they're all the problems we want to have to get out of over the top. Okay. And there's some guys out there, one that I can think of, I forget his name sometimes. Well, Scotty Scheffler, that he's so busy trying, because his hand action goes this way, he's so busy trying with his pelvis to stay back that he has all that weirdness going on. But it's absolutely fine. Greg Norman did it, Tiger does it, Rory has a little bit of it, this movement of coil and then just this tiny bit of basically maintaining the plane. Or in your case, it's going to feel like you're increasing the plane. I'm giving you the problem of a good junior golfer. And then once you've got that too much of this, once you're too under plane and you're shooting 80 all the time and you go, I'm stuck and underneath, I'm trying to, you can shoot 80 with that move quite happy. Then we can work on trying to squash the ball more. But again, as soon as you start doing anything like this, you're asking a lot more of your mobility.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so.
Good.
Yeah.
And then what?
There.
Yeah, stack it up. And then up. Yeah, beautiful.
Okay.
Look at you living the dream.
Living the dream, mate.
Living the dream. Let's take a clip of that and see what it looks like. Same again. So start trail. Good, and then up. Good, one more time. That was actually, you're getting it.
Okay, so start trail.
Start trail, turn, and then underneath. Beautiful. Nice.
Yeah.
You'll notice there I have not mentioned anything silly like keep your head down.
No.
No. The best thing you can say is watch the ball.
Okay.
I don't really know where keep the head down came from. I think it came from, you go to like a driving range and you watch kids hit a ball. And obviously grandparents are always there wanting to help. And what do kids do when they have a backswing? They swing back, make sure everybody's watching me.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back down and sometimes I'll miss it. Now, I understand that theory of keeping the head down, but unfortunately, as you all know, especially with your range of motion, if your head's there, your head has to move a little bit on the way back. Watch the ball, so I can still see it in my left eye as I come through. Watch the ball. The ball's in mid-flight. You should be watching it at this point. If you're still down here, that's not great for your spine, for your rotation, your hands flip excessively, everything. If you allow yourself to watch the ball as it leaves, don't. I mean, hey, we've had Annika Sorensen, David Duval's, a couple of great world number ones that looked early, which is pretty cool. And the ball's not moving, so there's a huge debate that you can look early because the object is not moving. Kind of like a tennis player, as the ball comes, they can see it in their peripheral as the ball is hitting the racket and they start to look at where they want to hit it to. There's great debate for that. I would almost rather a player starts to look early than stares down at the ground. Because also this is it's as heavy as a bowling ball. I believe head's like the melon's the heaviest part.
It's pretty heavy, yeah.
So if this stays back, then your weight's going to fall back. If this allows to go through, because you want to finish all stacked up and nice and tall and relaxed. If you keep this back there, you can hit golf shots, but
I suppose especially with me, my lack of range.
Yeah.
If I keep my head dead still, I'm just going to go, run out.
Yeah, we need to do everything that allows you to functionally move. Okay, so this is you at the top now. Look at your new top of the backswing. Check out that big turn, boy. And that's not a reverse spine, okay? That's just getting the joints nicely stacked. I love it. It's beautiful. And then from there, now is it exaggerated? Yes, obviously exaggerated because you're standing on a wobble board. Yeah. Right? There's a lot going on there as far as when you're standing on a wobble board goes. And the shoulders are on pretty good. Could we have more tilt? Absolutely. Although your shoulders are more tilted than the shaft is showing, correct? So it's not a big deal. Anyhow, let's see what happens from there. We're trying to keep that plane, whatever plane we have. Ooh, look at you living. Now you're going down even more. Beautiful. Stacking the joints. I love it. That is the opposite to coming over the top, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there, now we're going to start to have some extension, and you're going to push off the ball of the foot, which creates the rotation as the shoulder goes down. You're standing up. Beautiful. Look, there's no extension there. Beautiful. And then we can get to a nice, tall, balanced finish position. Lovely dovely. It's good. But it's literally the same as if we went there and had a punching bag. That's how you'd hit the bag. You wouldn't, I wouldn't say throw an uppercut and you do this.
Yeah.
What are you doing, bro? So it's way more like, it's skipping the stone. Temp and bowling is another really good movement where you can watch temp and bowlers, right? Yeah. They're having that, it's counterbalancing as their body does this. It's way more of that than that, as my preference for your problems.
Yeah, so many caveats.
Oh yeah. Well, everyone's so different, man. And if you were hyper flexible, we could be doing a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but you got to work with what we got.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's do 2 or 3 more of these, and then we're going to do it holding a club.
Okay.
In slow rehearsals, and then we can see what that looks like. But I think you can kind of feel and see the blueprint. Your stance is getting way more comfortable with that. Beautiful. Now what? Oi, mate, I love that shoulder move. How would you describe that?
It's like a scoop, like a real...
Okay, cool. But it's as you're scooping under, your pressure's moving even more forward, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Feels good. Feels very different to what I've been trying to do.
We need different. We need different.
Massively.
Man, you making it look easy.
Okay.
Good. Brilliant job. All right. Take your grip.
Woo. Okay, so... Dun-da-da.
And even when we get to hang the ball, you're not going to stand balanced when you hit the ball. You're going to start on your back foot.
Yep.
Why? Because we're trying to go forward. We're going to start where we don't want to be. Great way of playing. Cool. So we're going to start back here. Everything's back.
Cool. Oh, even more.
Yeah, why not? What's the worst that's going to happen?
True.
I don't know. You'll move forward. So as the club goes back, turn forward. Good. You know what that means now? Beautiful. Now as the club comes down, this all comes down as your weight goes where? More forward. Beautiful. And then up.
Okay. Yeah.
It's real different, eh?
It's so different. It's cool
Good.
though. Okay, so let's go bang here. In there.
Beauty, and then down. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to go that fast.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, straight into it.
Sorry.
I just got so much power there. It's come.
It feels like, because I'm at the end of it's like an elastic band.
You fully loaded? Okay, cool.
I have to work to get that stretch. So I'm like ready to, woof.
I love it.
But that's cool. I'll slow it down.
Yeah, it's one of those things that as long as you're getting the idea that the shoulder is doing this, not that. As soon as you apply force that way, you're going to be in trouble, especially with your inability to create. You can't do that, so you need to make sure you're doing that. If you had the ability to have a lot of internal, then you can do the shoulder and then the wrists, and then you can get the right side bend and match it up. But got to work within in the radius. All right, let's have a look what that one looked like. So there's your massive new turn. There's your shift of pressure forward. See if as you come down, that's good. So now that club's actually coming down. Look, you're living from the inside. Shoulders match the shaft. You can start to see the left glute. So that right there is a pretty damn good impact alignment, isn't it?
Yeah, cool.
Now, are the eyes too... You just got so excited there. The eyes are watching the target. I don't mind. I mean, we both know if the ball was there, you'd be looking at it, which would actually shut the shoulders a bit. But that's way better impact alignments. And then you've got lovely room and space. And oh, look at your arm structure suddenly magically changed. Bro, how did that happen?
Yeah. Wow.
So that's going to be our blueprint. And if we compare that to, I don't know, just 4 swings ago, this is one of your better ones too. Cool. We're going to get these matched up. They're not going to match up at first. Oh, maybe they will. So you can see that the depth of the lead arms changed. You can see the massive gap between what's happening with the legs here compared to before. A lot different, eh? And then as we come down here, you can start to see how the club was way out here. We're going to unlink these. Beautiful. This one's way out there. And then this one here, they've got the club working. That is my impact frame there, TM. Oh.
Wow.
Very different impact alignments there, right?
Yeah, wow.
Now you all of a sudden have all this extra rotation, and we have not talked once about rotating open, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of the biggest fallacies I find, or the biggest issues I find with golfers, myself included, is we try and get the perception of this square bit. If you do this too soon, then this has to stop, and then the arms have to go. The more you delay it, Rory-like, the more he turns, and he has this massive delay, then he has the fastest hip rotation through the ball. And everyone hears, oh, the fastest hip rotation through the ball equals speed. Yeah, but it's almost like the best delay of that rotation.
Yeah.
The more you have turn, stay closed as you come down, now you're in a position where you loaded and you can, up and left. But you've got to first go down and stay back to the target, yes, before you unload. Yeah, that's it. But it's so counterintuitive because most players go at like they're chopping wood as opposed to, what the hell am I doing here? And then it's up and turn to the target. It's much more of an underneath action, like you said. The right shoulder going underneath.
Wow, okay.
Very different.
Yeah.
It looks way better.
Looks
way better. And then, yeah, follow through. I'm amazed, to be honest, how much better. I didn't expect it to fix this trail elbow thing, this lead elbow thing so much. But it did, so there you go. Mysteries of the mind. Yeah, you can see here too in the face on one. It's a little bit rocky. I get my big palms in the way, but as you're coming down like that there, you can see completely different delivery, right?
Yeah, wow.
And then through impact there, you've got the full back up out of it, and here you've got the full extension down the target line. It's beautiful. So that's our DNA, that's our plan.
Wow.
How we integrate that is going to be the fun challenge.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah, so this isn't how I'm going to keep this.
You're going to keep,
is such a good facilitator of it.
You can keep doing that till the cows come home. There's some great players like Henrik Stenson or whatnot that literally does this shift of pressure. If we ever go to the forward, back, forward, sure, if you're trying to really maximize biomechanics, but you're always going to want to have pressure leading the club head. And the bigger the breaks in that timing, the easier it is to time it. So if I go forward, back, and then go back to forward, I've done it, but I've taken my time doing it. And that's A-okay. I don't have to be like timing it perfectly with all the biomechanics like I'm a long driver. Yet.
Yeah, Roger.
Cool, so let's do 2 or 3 more reps, just doing that.
With this?
Oh no, you can hold the club. I liked how you were doing it there. So shift first.
Okay. So we're here really.
Yep. Beautiful. And then shoulder goes where? Yeah, it goes underneath as you. Excellent. Cool. One more time. At the moment, obviously you're moving the pressure too much left, and that's a-okay.
Okay.
It's totally normal. If anything, we're trying to get you too far left. You're good. Cool. I saw your right shoe having to move.
Okay.
Open.
No?
No, because it wasn't open enough at address.
Oh, I see. It had
yeah,
to.
It had to move because you just were past what you're capable of doing.
Okay.
The beauty of a slippery surface is it allows you to actually move to what you're functionally capable of. Good. And like where your right ankle is right now is great.
Okay.
For you, that's fantastic.
Okay.
I just don't see how else you can. Cool. All right. Brilliant. Now, as soon as possible, we need to find where happy medium is. Because already very quickly you are learning to do it a little too excessively on the way back. Right. Which is fine, generally, because then you walk out the door and then you excessive.
Dilute it down.
But let's see how you go with being in the middle. And then once it's pretty quick, you can feel where balanced 50-50 is. We can use some fancy tools. But for the start, let's just use it's easily to feel. Beautiful. So it's not anywhere near as obviously change. Cool.
Yeah, I expect
so
more.
yeah, it's way more comfortable. You've got to start with exaggeration and then dumb things down. Beautiful. So start on the right, so off the middle. You're in the middle of the moment. Get way on the right.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. So we're starting on the trail, and then as you go back, find the happy medium, 50-50. Ah, no, that's too far left, isn't it?
Too far. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so this is supposed to be balanced.
I want you to be balanced at the top.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, at the top. Got you.
So you're moving from right
Yeah.
to left progressively as you're swinging the club. That's the challenge.
Okay.
You're never going backwards. You're always slowly going forwards. Turn more, turn. Beautiful. So that's a lovely balanced coil. Then as the arms and the shoulders come down, you move further left. Okay, cool. We're going to have to work on this one. Same again. Up to the top. Beautiful, beautiful. Are we balanced?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So as we come down, this comes down, and now we move left. That's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not.
Okay, so come down
So
here.
the club head is effectively, as it comes down, the club head's moving further away from the object you're about to hit as it starts down.
Okay. So we're right here. In the middle.
And then, yeah, good. Like you're about to hit it through extra cover.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. That's the feeling. Yeah, brilliant. There's only other one variable,
Ah, okay.
Clubface. But I know you're super genius, but 3 at once is tough.
Oh, no.
You can definitely learn to shift pressure and definitely learn to stay turned or closed for longer, which will get our path and our angle of attack pure. And then you'll be hitting straight shots, maybe straight right, and then we can get face to path, and then you're hitting little tight draws.
Okay.
Everyone's dream, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Until it's a hook.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So turn to the center, balanced. Drop the arms as you shift. Yeah, look at you living.
Is that better?
Mate, that's crazy good.
Okay.
It's crazy good. All right, cool. I'm going to grab a tennis ball. Tennis ball's a great place to start when you're doing swing mechanic stuff. All right, cool. Tennis ball.
Okay. Like swing for it or?
Make contact, same, do it slowly. So start right, turn to the middle. Excellent. Brilliant job. Cool, same again. Let's do this 2 or 3 times. And when you feel comfortable, you can add a little bit of speed to it.
Yep.
Little bit.
This.
Just rock it around like a hockey ball to find where you need to put it. Good. Center yourself on the way back. Balanced. Good. And then underneath. Good. Well done. Ironically, TM did pick that up.
Nice.
It's got way better in the last couple of years at tracking tennis balls.
Okay.
I think it's mainly because they're using it for tennis.
No way.
So mainly, yeah, well, it'd be pretty cool, if you'd like a
Yeah.
forehand, you want to know how much top spin, spin axis. It's a stick and a ball, right?
Yeah,
TM's
yeah.
pretty good at that. And they're also doing baseball now too and stuff. And
Wow.
they're going to start doing footy too, so they have a huge Trackman range, so you can track the ball.
Wow.
But it'd be pretty cool, like with footy. I know they're using it for goal kicking too, American football and stuff. It'd be pretty cool for goal kicking when you can know like the launch and the spin and the ball speed of the best kicker.
Yeah.
Kids love it, because for golf, that's why they love, like kids learning on launch monitors are great, because then they can say, what's Rory's data? Oh, I can copy that. Or
Yeah.
I can beat that. Here's the standard. Like with Tiger, we never actually knew what his numbers were. There's stories of mystical, he was this fast, he had this
Yeah.
much ball speed, he had this launch angle. But in his peak, I would have loved to have had his delivery numbers. Wow.
Wow.
That would be interesting.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. But it's pretty handy to have. All right, let's have a look what... we're just going to use some boring old 2D images and video camera.
Yeah.
So that's the new top of the backswing feel, which is real different. Way more turn there. I love that. We're coming on down, underneath. Look at you living. Beautiful. Excellent. Wonderful. Well done. Really well.
Okay. Cool.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's extremely different from before.
It's crazy.
How long it takes you to install and learn this
Who knows?
really depends on your ability to accept bad golf shots.
Yeah.
Because you can do this straight away and you're going to hit some of your best shots of your life and you can hit some of the worst shots of your life.
Yeah.
The long run, it's great.
No.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Were you going at the tennis ball or are you trying to miss it?
I don't know. Just I planned to, and then as I swung, it just seemed to be in the wrong spot.
Okay, good. It's exactly what I was expecting to hear. Can I throw face in there too? Give you one thing with face?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, cool. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I'm just going to show you where we're going to finish. I'm going to let you, because as I get more flexion in your lead wrist, I shorten your backswing too.
Okay.
But I don't want to do anything to shorten your range of motion. So I'm going to do something and encourage you to do it basically through impact. And because you're not that fast, we can get away with some face closure moves.
Okay.
One more little practice swing here. And let's show you some moves. Beautiful, beautiful, exquisite. Man, you're a good learner, aren't you?
Try to be, mate.
Cool, so let's turn on back. Beautiful, let's drop it underneath as you slide more forward. Good man, cool. Arms come down. Keep coming, keep coming. That's impact, and then post-impact we're going to allow the club face to slowly square up. So at this point here we have a lovely full point of extension.
Okay.
If I was being hyper picky, I'd be like a little bit more down.
Oh, okay.
If I had a choice.
That's cool. I can
Cool,
make that work.
and then the face keeps moving that way with arms extending to the target line. And here's your famous shaking hands with the target position.
Ah, okay.
Whereas your tendency is to be,
Yeah.
and that's where this elbow flies out. And whereas if we can have full extension, keep holding
Yep.
it, and rotation, then from there it goes up. And then you look like a bowler.
That's the plan, mate.
Plus, with
So-
your arms, it's like you're doing a spiral pass rugby ball. That's straight or a little draw. That's a nice high slice.
So coming through here.
And
Bang.
then extension and rotation,
And then keep side flex a little bit with shoulder down.
preferably. Yeah, and it feels like it's out there.
Yeah.
Now, am I creating too much path, too much face closure? Absolutely, I'm creating a new problem. But it's a problem we want to have.
Yeah, good problem.
It's a problem that will guarantee like breaking 90, shooting low 80s. And then like I said, once you've got an excessive high right to left shot, you can be a very happy golfer, or you can start to neutralize, lower the flight, do all the fancy stuff. But you've got to have the right problems to have the right solutions.
Yeah.
Repeat. 2 more on this, and then we're going to hop off it.
So, bang.
Beautiful. Drop it underneath.
Oh, there.
It's way easier, eh?
Yeah.
The more you go this way, it's harder on the body, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't need it.
Okay, so finish.
Yeah,
There.
you can like some famous old drills like the old Monty drill where you have a wall behind you, you don't want to whack the wall.
Okay.
I don't mind. We're trying to go from underneath to out to the right. We're slice busting it, brother. Yep.
Ah, so close the club face down.
Makes it go further too. De-loft it. You turn your 8 iron into a 6 iron. Then you hit it as far. You go, oh.
That'd be lovely.
It will.
Everything goes so high for me.
Yeah, we're going to come out a lot lower as we de-loft it. Getting that lead wrist to go from extension to flexion through the impact zone. Like I said, you could do it earlier in the backswing, but as soon as you do that, it shortens the backswing. And I just cannot afford to shorten your backswing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just ain't that long, baby.
There's not enough
We
of it.
need that extension, we need that swing length. And obviously as you cup it, it gets longer. As you bow it, it gets shorter, so. Maybe if I got you 20 years ago and you were more flexible, we could do it. You're good, and then come on down, shoulder, close the face more.
Move to back.
Cool, one more time. I'm gonna get involved quite a bit in this next one. Setup looks pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that.
You enjoying Dancing Queen in the background?
It's beautiful. Someone's put this on.
Right, let's go. You're beautiful, shift underneath. Yeah, good man. Relax,
Relax.
relax. Good. Shoulder. Good man. It's a different release pattern, isn't it?
Yeah.
With, you can see your lead arms rotated underneath, extension rotate. Beautiful.
So you're coming under here. Bang.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, if I had a preference here, I would also keep that trail hip more underneath or more that way.
So like
Yeah,
this.
almost if you were kicking a footy, right? Be more of that. Then, Shimon.
Okay.
Just until post, and then I don't mind it rolling over. But
Oh, I see. Okay.
there's 20. It gets too complicated at that point. Cool. All right, let's get rid of this and see if you can find your balance without any.
Yeah, wow.
This is probably when putting the pressure mat on would be good, but we're just gonna keep plugging away with this. Maybe next time I can have it all wired up and connected for screencasting, and then we can. Because it's a great testing tool, and then you can actually see what you feel, how much it actually is. Same as with data. Data's great if you know what to look for.
Yeah. Okay. So
Otherwise,
right
it's all
there.
over pretty screwy. Beautiful setup. Loaded trail side, shoulders squared, right arm, left arm high. A little bit more that way. Yeah, I know, right? That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck getting a slice from there. All right, cool. Let's turn to the middle. Good. So now you can feel what balance is, right? You feel this is moved. This is, you can see here in the mirror that the shoulder's kind of lined up almost with there. If you were more flexible, hey, great, but that ain't you, right? This is where we can go to, so no point trying to push it. And then we come on down. Yes. Stop there. A tad bit more. What? Yes. Look how, like, compression you were talking about?
Yeah.
Heaps. Look at that. And then up.
Okay. Cool.
It's up.
Up.
It's down and then up. Not, see, oh, my shoulder, my left. That's why the amateur biggest issue or injury in golf for amateurs is elbows. Pro golfers is generally neck and wrists from just
My two good bits.
from just sheer volume. You do this 100,000 times over the course of a career, guess what? Going to break.
Yeah.
You can do anything for a lot. Whereas, yeah, you can play golf for 1 month, and if you do this too much, you're going to get that one. Why? Because you're just loading it this way when it should be this way. It's such a different release pattern. There's no pressure on the outside of that arm at all. Should be the case. All right, a couple more reps. Just keep getting used to it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Arms underneath and face closure.
Yeah, that's it. That. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect you to get that straight away. And it is, the reason we mentioned it last, it is the last of my priority list.
Okay.
The biggies are really the setup. What does it feel like to shift right to left, and while you're shifting, turning. So that's a good coil into a balanced stop there. So that's the biggie, right? What does this feel like to be coiled, turned? I don't mind all that right now. And then from here, how do you start down? It's not this way.
Yeah.
It's that way. Good. Arms to the pocket, right elbow comes underneath. And then from here, to learn to do this is something you've never done.
No.
Because if you ever used to do that because the club was out here, if you did that, you'd hit it into your left shoe.
Yeah.
So we've got to get used to this happens last, getting used to that sequence. Boff.
Okay. Cool.
And then it works down to the target.
Cool. Yes, I'm sort of I understand a bit more now what
Good.
you mean.
That's good. It takes time.
Yeah.
Even for geniuses like yourself. Take me a long time, I can tell you that. Excellent. All right, so let's integrate that into a white ball.
Oi.
Hey. So how I would suggest doing that is always the exciting part. I would be standing there doing a lot of standing at the ball at the range. So you're only going to get a small bucket.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's going to take you a lot longer to hit them than it normally does.
It is.
So you're going to turn and stop here and get used to what does it feel like to have my right hip almost lined up with the back of the ball while having this what feels like it's behind the ball. It's the feeling, which I think you're starting to get. That's key, right? So where am I at the top? And then from here, get used to shifting just enough that the joints stack up. Not too much, just enough that they stack up. And this right shoulder goes down, hands go down in the pocket. Just this move. And then from here, certainly post-impact face is squared up. And you can just stand there and do that lots, right? Centered, underneath, face. And you can video yourself doing this with your camera, which is great, because there's not many mirrors out on the range just as well, otherwise people would probably break them.
Yeah, true that.
Centered, now you know what the hell that means. Turn, turn, pelvis ahead of shoulders, down, into there. And then when you feel comfortable doing it, then by all means you can go ahead and hit a shot, trying to actually feel what is it like to have centered, this, and then that. Hopefully that one will go left. Yes, face to path is left, because we need to get you hitting like that. Those are the numbers we obviously it's too much face to path there, but we're looking to get the angle of attack way steeper, path positive, face to path closed. Once we've got those three variables, we're balling. You're hitting a consistent right to left shot that's going 30% further than what it is right now. And then you know where to, then we can talk about alignment and stuff, because I'm on a massive, aim's important, but if you don't know where the ball's going, it's like having a rifle and you don't know where the bullets are going. It's literally shotgun, right?
Yeah.
Well, so one of the pellets are going to go at the target.
Yeah.
But if you know where the bullet's going to go, then you can be way more precise with your alignment. So that's why we're controlling path, face. We know it's going to curve, and then we're going to aim a couple yards right because we know it's going to fall a couple yards left.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do some rehearsals at the ball, and then when you feel comfortable, let's see if we can capture one.
So, okay. So what? Let's go right from there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Only thinking of 25. Lucky we videoed all of this, so you can remember it.
Yeah. Thank God.
Beautiful. Cool. And just do rehearsals. Don't hit the ball. Just get comfortable doing it while you're looking at the back of the ball. Turning to the center. Brilliant. Drop the arms down. Good. And then what is the club face going to look like? Excellent. Squash. And then extension to the target. Well done.
Okay.
Just 2 or 3 of those and then give it a hit.
Not enough. Okay.
Oh, it was a bit flippy. Good. Down. Stop there. A lot more. Which way?
That way.
Yeah, and club more.
Over there.
Yes. I know, swinging right's going to make a lot more sense when the ball's going left, but...
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
All right, cool. Let's make contact with one.
God.
Why not? Let's move the ball a little bit more over here. Holy moly.
Is that better?
Look at that. 0 path. Hit slightly down on it. Face barely open. Like that was going to fly awkwardly straight, some may say. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's way less curvature. That was a wonderful move, man. Well done.
Okay.
Whew. The bonus is because you were hitting it so inefficiently last time,
The only way is up.
you only lost like 20 meters of distance chipping it.
Yeah. That's
Cool.
nuts.
Way different turn at the top. Come on from way more neutral. Still a little cutty, but way better than it was. Good. Excellent. That was just your first golf ball swing. So you can imagine what's going to happen. The more you practice it, the more comfortable you're going to be with the arms and hands dropping underneath. We'll really can get more aware of where the shaft is at this point. That was just your first swing at the
Should
damn
they be
golf ball.
closer to me still?
No. Would I prefer this right elbow more underneath? Yes. But the simple way of getting that underneath is if we just get the shaft pointed at the target, not left field. As soon as I say shaft to the right, as that works, boom, that's how that kicks in there.
Okay, so even back here we're aiming that way.
Yeah, you're not trying to hit it straight. Straight does not
That's kind of
exist.
that.
Straight does not effectively exist. Good players that hit it straight, they coming from the inside and working left to neutralize. But you can only neutralize a hook into a straight. A slice, you still have to go from slice to drawing to hitting it straight. The 3-step program.
Yeah. As you can see in the link description below.
No, it's just, I remember hearing Haney say that. It's very hard to go from slicing to good golf. You kind of go from slicing to hooking to good golf. And every good player, generally when they're out there playing, they're battling a hook. So the guys that hit fades, like Alex Noren or something, they're doing everything they can to not hit it left, because if they don't, they'll hit a draw. Whereas all the battlers are out there slicing it sideways. So you have to have all these movement traits of opening and pivoting and ripping it and getting the handle to work left. All that. It's only good advice if you're too much under plane and flipping a high draw. So you got to have, although it's like Warren Buffett, you got to have the right investment problems before you have.
Yeah.
I don't know what shares to buy. How much money do you have? None. Well, get some money first. It's the case of same thing here is get the golf swing coming from the inside with too much face rotation and lots of shift forward, and then you can go about reducing it if you want. But it's quite a lot of fun hitting big high rip draws. And at your speed, it's not going to curve a lot anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, okay.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But cool, let's keep doing it. 2 or 3 rehearsals at the ball, and then we'll give it a whack again. And then we'll probably call it a shot today
Yeah, cool.
before we completely run out of data on the phones. We could do more, but
No, this is awesome.
the brain is, I'm assuming, pretty full. Good, brilliant. Excellent, centered, hands underneath. And then, which way are we going? Out that way.
That's
Perfect.
it. Yeah, so.
Same as if I was kicking a footy, right, between the goalposts. Don't want to come and toe hack it.
Yeah.
I want you'd come from in here and your foot would go that way, right?
Yeah.
And even though your foot's going this way, that's actually from the in down the target line. Beautiful, underneath, yeah, and then close the face a bit more. Brilliant. One more rep and then give it a whack. Well done, man. That's a lot. You're doing great. Let's make contact. Don't care where it goes. Just do the moves as best as you can. You did amazingly well to hit that considering all the thinking going on.
Yeah, you can see it.
Good though. Only issue there is the face was a tad open, but
Yeah,
movement-wise...
felt it.
Yeah, it's just that thing, you haven't ever actually allowed yourself to square it up, because if you ever did, it would have gone miles left. So you were always feeding it open, but you've got awareness now, you can start to see it, even in your rehearsal you can start to see, and like I said, next time we'll definitely do a bunch of wrist work if you've got used to this stuff here, if you've got used to using getting the body back to center, getting the club to drop underneath. Like, I think this is probably a way better job of that. Yeah, it was way better. And then it's just face after that. All right. Good start.
Cool. Thank you.
Step one of...
Appreciate time.
I don't know how many steps. It's a journey.
Yep.